Learn English through story. The Weight of the Crown. In a small kingdom nestled between lush valleys and towering mountains, there lived a king named Alaric. He was known far and wide for his wisdom, justice, and fairness. However, beneath the surface of his reign lay an increasing burden. The crown that once felt light now weighed heavily on his head. The demands of his people, the threats from neighboring kingdoms, and the ceaseless pressure to maintain prosperity took their toll on him. King Alaric had devoted his life to serving his people, but the more he gave, the more they seemed to expect. His advisors constantly clamored for attention, each suggesting grandiose plans and policies to bolster the kingdom's wealth and power. They focused on expanding borders and acquiring riches, often neglecting the needs of the very people they were supposed to serve. One evening, feeling the weight of his responsibilities, Alaric ventured out of the castle to clear his mind. He wandered into the nearby forest, a place he often visited as a child to escape the expectations of royalty. As he walked, he stumbled upon a small village hidden deep within the woods. It was a quaint settlement, with modest homes and warm fires flickering in the windows. Curious, Alaric approached the village. He noticed that the people were not wealthy, but they were cheerful and kind. Children played in the streets, and laughter echoed in the air. Intrigued, the king decided to spend some time in the village, disguising himself as a common man. He wanted to understand how his people truly lived. As days passed, Alaric immersed himself in village life. He helped tend to the fields, participated in festivals, and shared meals with the villagers. He learned about their struggles and dreams, their joys and sorrows. In one particularly touching moment, he witnessed a young mother struggling to feed her children. Alaric offered her a portion of his own food, and the gratitude in her eyes touched his heart deeply. One night, as the villagers gathered around a fire, they shared stories of their lives. One elderly man spoke about a time when the king would visit their village, listening to their concerns and joining in their celebrations. The king had been a beacon of hope, and his absence had left a void. Hearing these words pierced Alaric's heart, revealing the disconnect between his royal duties and the reality of his people. After a week, Alaric returned to the castle, forever changed by his experience. He had seen the kingdom from a new perspective and realized the true essence of leadership. Instead of focusing solely on wealth and power, he needed to connect with his people and prioritize their needs. Determined to transform his reign, Alaric called for a grand council with his advisors. As they gathered, he spoke passionately about the importance of community and understanding the struggles of the common folk. He shared stories from the village, emphasizing the value of compassion and connection. His advisors were skeptical. "Your Majesty," one advisor interjected, "we must focus on expansion and wealth. The neighboring kingdoms grow stronger, and we cannot afford to fall behind." Alaric stood firm. "True strength lies not in conquest but in unity and compassion. If we neglect the needs of our people, we risk losing their loyalty and trust." Gradually, the council shifted its focus. Alaric implemented initiatives to improve the quality of life for the villagers, investing in education, healthcare, and sustainable agriculture. He encouraged trade with neighboring communities, ensuring that wealth was shared among all, rather than concentrated in the hands of a few. As the kingdom flourished, Alaric became known not just as a king, but as a leader who truly cared for his people. He established regular visits to villages, listening to their concerns and celebrating their achievements. The connection between the crown and the common folk deepened, creating a bond that strengthened the entire kingdom. However, The newfound focus on compassion did not come without challenges. Some advisors remained resistant, fearing that Alaric's approach would weaken their power. They plotted against him, whispering doubts into the ears of influential nobles. They claimed that the king's compassion was a sign of weakness, that he was forsaking the kingdom's strength. One fateful day, a rival kingdom saw an opportunity to strike. They launched an invasion, hoping to capitalize on Alaric's perceived vulnerability. News of the attack reached the castle like wildfire, and panic ensued. The advisors urged Alaric to prepare for battle, but he knew that violence would only further divide his kingdom. Instead, Alaric called for a gathering of the people, addressing them with courage. Our strength does not lie solely in our swords but in our unity and love for one another. Let us stand together, not as subjects and rulers, but as a community that values peace over conflict. Inspired by their king's words, the villagers rallied behind him. They stood shoulder to shoulder, ready to defend their home. When the invading army approached, they found not just a king but an army of united villagers who were willing to protect their way of life. In a surprising turn, the rival king, witnessing the solidarity among Alaric's people, called for parley instead of battle. He proposed a truce, recognizing that conquering a kingdom filled with such loyalty would be futile. Alaric seized the moment, offering the rival king an alliance built on mutual respect and cooperation. The invasion ended without bloodshed, and the rival kingdom agreed to trade and share resources. Alaric's approach had proven that compassion and unity could prevail over violence and greed. From that day forward, Alaric ruled with a renewed sense of purpose. He understood that the weight of the crown was not in the power it conferred, but in the responsibility to uplift and support those who looked to him for guidance. His kingdom thrived not just in wealth, but in love and understanding, forging a legacy that would be remembered for generations. Alaric had learned the true meaning of leadership, that a king's strength lies in his ability to listen, to empathize, and to inspire his people. As he looked out over the kingdom, he felt the crown upon his head finally become a symbol of hope, connection, and shared dreams. I hope you enjoyed the story. If you enjoyed, then please like and share this video, and don't forget to subscribe our YouTube channel. Thank you for watching.